And then how did your vision for Rose Hill Apothecary come about?
It didn't really get into the fact that I am also a musician. And as a musician, going all the way back to my teens, I just had a relationship with the medicine, with psilocybin, So I knew that Jamaica was legal to produce there, and I happen to enjoy mushrooms. I like taking them. So I wanted to have different genetics that we just didn't have access to wild harvesting. And the only way to get that was to grow them yourself, to cultivate them yourself.
Right. Now you just said, but back then it was legal in Jamaica, but it has not been legal around the world, um,
Mhm.
not in the United States, though there's all kinds of research being done, supposed research being done in the United States right now about psilocybin, other natural element or components like that that's starting to finally come to be. But you decided back then, not only because you were using it yourself, you started growing it and developing out different genotypes, right?
That's right, because how we would do it in the beginnings, we would go wild harvesting. The mushrooms grow everywhere, and I'm on a farm. We had cows when I was a kid, so they grow out of the cow poops. There
Mhm.
was a friend of my father's, an American man, and he just a great influence on me growing up. He lived in Jamaica back in the 70s and 80s, and some most of the 90s as well. And he told me about mushrooms and an experience that he had. And in hearing that, I remember even as a child, I was like, man, when I get big, I definitely want to try those. So they were there. We would wild harvest them, and then naturally, when it was time to, have to renew genetics, really, because you can't just keep going all the time. I looked to what we had in Jamaica, and I went out into the fields, took spore prints, brought them home, did crosses. I always just grew up loving the personality of our natural medicine from the earth.